Welcome to another episode of You Good Bro. Yes, I'm back. Thanks to Jamal for holding the fort for the last few weeks. We're joined by two special guests who both run Men Outdoors Manchester. We're joined by Tommy, who's an actor, and also joined by Connor, who's a personal trainer. And they've been running Men Outdoors for the last 2 years, putting on monthly events such as abseiling, hikes across the UK, and they're planning to do the 3 national peaks this summer to raise money for Andy's Man Club. So we're grateful to have them here. As we always do on You Good Bro, how are you feeling today? You good, bro? Start with Connor first.
Yeah, weirdly, man. Yeah, I am actually good at the moment, mate. I think, this year, I can't believe it's gone this far into the year already. But yeah, I'm actually in a really, really, really good place at the moment, which is nice.
That's really good to hear. How about yourself, Tommy? Understand you were in Birmingham.
I'm very good, man. Finished in Birmingham now, so back in Manchester. So yeah, all good, man.
Cool. Well, tell us a bit, before we go into Men Outdoors, tell us a bit about yourselves. I understand that you've been doing you're a personal trainer, Connor. How long have you been doing that, and how did you get into that?
Without going too much detail, to be fair, it was over lockdown. I used to be really out of shape and kind of, like most people, just seeked some kind of happiness in lockdown and got into fitness.
Mm-hmm.
And then just kind of retrained in that period and been doing it for like on and off for like the last 5 years now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yourself, you've been acting for a long time.
I have, yeah. I've been acting since I was about 15, and then I went to drama school in 2017. So I've been acting for a long time, but yeah, I left drama school in 2020, which was not the best time to graduate. We broke up for Easter and never went back. But yeah, it was good, man.
That period of time was weird. Completely weird. And you connected through drama school, both of you, right?
We met at college, so we did acting at college. I was there for a year, and then Connor joined about halfway through. And it was funny because we walked in one day and all the women were surrounded by, Connor was surrounded by all the women. And me and our friend Jake, we walked in and we were like, who are they surrounding? And Connor, being a Cockney geezer, he was just chatting up all the girls, and we were like, who is this guy? And we might have been a little bit intimidated by Connor at first, but then we got chatting and we just clicked straight.
I remember it differently, I promise. I'm married now, by the way. I just want to throw that
Disclaimer.
It was college.
And it's a blessing that you still stay in touch, and obviously you've built what you have with Men Outdoors Manchester. Yeah. How did that come about initially? Where did the love for hiking come about? Was it yourself? Was it Connor?
It's probably...
I've been, since I was a young kid, my uncle sort of took me outdoors all the time. So I was very lucky to sort of do that as a kid. And I remember as a kid, it's like, now I enjoy it. Whereas when I was a kid, it was a graft. But now I look back, I realise how lucky I was to be raised sort of in the mountains and things like that. So I've always sort of loved it, and I've always done it. So then, and then when me and Connor started going on walks and camping and climbing mountains and stuff, then Connor sort of found his love for it. So that's how we sort of got into being outdoor men.
If you want to call it that,
yeah. And did that initially start with you? What did you do that from, like, when you started to get to know each other, or was it sort of during the last few years?
Not really. No, not at the start. No, really. Well, obviously we were at college, and I think I was 19. I think you were 18. So we didn't have any time for that then. we were going to the pubs and partying. So it's probably in the last few years that we've been getting outdoors.
Yeah, probably like separately, to be honest. Obviously, Tommy kind of introduced it to me. I think, obviously, you can probably take the elephant out of the room. I'm not from Manchester. But kind of, I think, growing up down south or spending your childhood there, we don't really have much nature. And I think the one blessed thing about Manchester is that 360 all the way around. You've got access to the nature, right? And Tommy kind of opened the door for me. I probably didn't appreciate it even then. Then I travelled a little bit. We went on different paths for a long time, and through whatever reason, since I've got a little bit older, I've moved that to Stockport, which is basically the countryside, let's be honest. And now it's like as much as a part of my life as it was part of your childhood. And it's kind of like we've just merged at different times, really, and come together.
And when I was on a hike with you guys, which was a really good hike, I think I really enjoyed it. I think I saw the camaraderie and I saw like the benefit it has done to build the community you had. There is that big saying, touch grass,
Yeah.
you know, and we were saying it on the hike when we were speaking. We were saying that, isn't it funny how, you know, our generation, say millennials, you know, where we'd go outside, we'd play in the park and we'd be out all day and then we'd come back when it goes dark. And then it's almost like when you get to your 30s, late 20s, it's almost like you go back to that. You go back to your inner child. And you realize in such a digitized world where everyone's on the phones and no one's connecting, how beneficial communities like yours are. Now, was that the main catalyst to starting? Was it sort of like, I need to be, you know, in terms of like, say for example, we like mental health or in terms of like well-being, was that sort of catalyst for you to start Men Outdoors Manchester?
It was weird. It's hard to explain, really.
Yeah.
It wasn't a specific
Can't define
thing.
one moment,
we
if I'm
just,
being honest.
yeah, we started going for walks together, and like we were camping and stuff. And what was happening is we would set up our tents, and we'd go the night before, and they'd be like, okay, we'll start early, and we'll have a full day of walking. And then we'd have a few beers. And then what was happening is we were waking up hungover, and then it was jeopardizing what we were doing the next day. So we were either not enjoying the walk or even cutting it short, and we'd be like, right, this is just a bit of a graft. And that's when, for me, I thought, okay, the one thing I love doing is now I'm not enjoying it as much because I'm drinking loads the night before and I'm staying up late. So that's when Men Outdoors that's when we Connor messaged me and he's like, do you think we should start a group where we don't have to drink or do whatever and we can just enjoy getting outside? And that's when I thought, oh my God, yeah, we should totally do that for us, you know. And then we thought, and for everyone else who needs it. So it was more to help us doing it at first.
And I think for me, it was about the similar time. I'd done like a 1 year challenge to not drink. So I felt like for the first time, like, I was probably drinking way too much and I weren't in control of it. And that was new to me. So I started that and it was weird. It was like, even though there was lots of positives, like my training was good, my health was good, I was lonely at the same time. So when I was bored and where I'd normally just go to the pub or get a 6-pack in or go to a party, I just went out with the dogs and my now wife and just went hiking. But I still kind of missed my mates, and it was hard. People were avoiding me because I was respecting the fact I weren't drinking. But then I was like, this is one thing that you can't really do on your own and benefit from. So it was like, if I could, and then I was like, maybe we should set up this group, because I thought in a bit of a selfish way, I think I reached out to Tommy, who inspired me to get on hikes initially. And I was just lonely, man. I didn't want to go to the pub. I wasn't ready to go to the pub at that point. But I was like, the one thing that's missing is bringing this into community. And we actually thought, we all feel like that are in the routine of the pub every Friday and Saturday for the last several years, you know.
And it's all built into our culture. You go to watch the football. I know you're an Arsenal fan.
You had to get that in there.
Had to get that in there.
And I know today, man.
And it's almost like, so just in the UK culture, just to drink, and it's almost like sometimes you don't realize the effects it can have. There's sayings like drowning in sorrows. There's sayings like, you know, and getting out there and just sort of getting out of your life, or even, you know, like you said, you've done a 1 year challenge. It's so beneficial. So, you know, you've done it for 2 years now in terms of like having Men Outdoors Manchester. Like, what of the highlights have you been, like maybe favorite hikes, or, you know, you've built this community? Is there any sort of individual that you've sort of seen sort of progress in terms of?
I think the first thing we did was amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
We booked a day where it was like we climbed a mountain and then we canyoned through like this river, and then we ran
to the lake.
We ran to the lake, and then we
it was like a 10
it was like a raft.
Person paddleboard.
It was like a raft.
They called it a paddleboard, but I've seen ships in the oceans like smaller than this.
It was like a raft, and you had to get across the lake. So it was like a full like outdoor weird day, and there was about 25 of us, and it was mayhem, and it was great, and it was like, I think the thing with not drinking is it's a really scary thought. Like, if you enjoy a drink, the reason why a lot of people don't do it is they think, what, am I never going to drink again? And that is really scary. So I think everyone after it was like, oh, you can have a good time. And that's not the pub. And for me and a lot of people, and Connor and a lot of people, just realising that you can have fun that's outside the pub.
Yeah.
So many people are like, oh gosh, it's like I'm not. It's not such a daunting idea not drinking, and maybe not giving up drinking, but just not doing it every weekend. We can put one weekend a month aside where we go camping or we do that or we do whatever, and it's not founded on the pub.
Yeah, it's not. It's decentering the sort of the drinking culture and sort of, making sure that people are getting out and people are sort of exercising or, trying something new. And that's what I love about, from what you've built is you're not only just doing hikes, you're also doing challenges.
It's
you're
anything.
also doing
It's anything that's not the pub. It can be a bike ride. It can be camping.
Be a breathwork session. It could be like rock climbing. It really doesn't matter. I think we go to because what we're trying to do is either low cost or free. So the hiking is great because the most it's going to cost you is a bit of petrol money and a part. But we can also get people to give lifts. But the one that we did launch with was kind of when we realised, me and Tommy, like, oh shit, this is needed not just from our inner circle to do other stuff than drinking. This seems like a bit of an issue with, and it could be very beneficial for men out there because obviously we process things differently. Mental health, the statistics. So I've done a lot of research into that before we set up Men Outdoors for whatever reasons, and there is a big difference with suicide rates and stuff like that. And I feel like the outdoors, getting physical, moving your body, like grafting away, like working as a team to start something, finish together, taking the piss out of each other on the way because that's just what we do. It's not insane, like that's just what we do when we're like, in our element. I was just like, actually, this is way deeper than just bring my mates out on hikes because I'm lonely.
Yeah.
This is teaching men how to achieve the natural highs of life without needing alcohol or substances.
Yeah. And that gets forgotten when you get into like the working life and, whether you do what you do in terms of the acting or you do in terms of the personal training, you do forget life does get monotonous and life doesn't stop. And it's like, the way you get out of that is you appreciate what you have in front of you. I think as well, like, as I've got older as well, I don't know if you're from Stretford, from Manchester like me.
Yeah, man.
Like, I remember for a point of time, I did not go to the peaks or the lakes for years.
I didn't even know they were that close. To me, the Peak District and the Lake District were the same thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, and you can see it from my house. Like, if you go on the roof, you can see it. And I was like, oh, they're mountains. And that's something that I've loved since I was a kid. And for a long time, I thought, oh, you've got to go to Wales to see the mountains. And I wasn't aware that they were just right there. So.
Yeah, and I think it's just and it's just weird the effect it has on you. Like when we did the hike a few weeks ago, and the conversations we were having, we were laughing about one of the guys not bringing the right boots.
Yeah.
One of the guys from the group had a dog and the dog kept walking off.
Yeah.
And like, it was like,
it's not perfect.
Yeah, it's like the camaraderie you get from it, the endorphins you get from it, they outmatch anything that alcohol or any substances can do. In the 2 years you've done it, like what effects have it had in your own personal lives of having the group?
I think for me, I probably need it more than anyone that comes across, and Tommy at times feels the same. It's we all know kind of what we want to be doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's hard to stick and be consistent at that. Whereas I think when you pre-plan, have your days of the month where you're going on a big hike, you've got to get up early, you've got to have a night's sleep. It's almost like that distraction technique. If you've got kids or if you've trained a dog, or for example, instead of telling them what to do and what not to do, you show them what they should be doing without them knowing it, kind of thing. And for myself, I've noticed is when I'm really banging to the Men Outdoors and consistent, I'm just a lot fresher, more focused Monday to Friday. I haven't got that beer fear come Tuesday every week. I look back and I can remember each weekend in the calendar month without them blurring into one. And I think for me, obviously being a PT and stuff, I go to the gym. It's not really the physical side for me, but just there's something that happens when you're out in nature touching grass, like you keep saying, and connecting with other people that are similar minded, probably going through similar problems. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's just that community feeling that you get after them. That I just know that we're building something good. I think.
And I think the fact that you're helping other people as well.
Yeah.
And there is a safe space for people to go where things are pre-planned, like you said. Sometimes even when you do hike alone or when it's only a few of yous, it could just be like, it's only us. We need more. We need that sort of,
I think it's we are helping people, but we're being helped. Like at first, people sort of thought it was me and Connor telling everyone how to better themselves. It's not. It's really not. It's us needing help and saying, actually, we need to get outside and talk. So it's not us lecturing people about how to talk and stuff. It's us saying, yeah, I need this as much as you guys. So yes, we're helping people, but we're being helped just as much, if not more.
100%. 100% agree. It was recently, a few weeks ago, Jamal did an episode, do check it out, on the Manosphere, on the Louis Theroux documentary.
Yeah.
And we see how so many people get indoctrinated by the wrong things.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're in a place now where it's like there needs to be that healthy discourse or that healthy place where people can look to and people can go to, And I think you identifying, as that of, we have this organization, but you're helping me as much as I'm helping you. And I think that's so selfless.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And like I said, like when we first started off, people were like, oh, do you not worry if no one turns up? And I'll be like, well, I'm going to benefit because I'll still get out. And it's one of them. And like you said, it is, we wouldn't be sat here doing it if we didn't need that help anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And if we found that beneficial, I'm sure a lot of others out there will do it at the same time. It's not come in here and you all have to just stop drinking alcohol forever and, do all of this.
Yeah.
It's genuinely far from it. All we ask is while we're on that hiking experience, just leave it at home. Do you know what I mean? That's all we say, just because you never know who's going to walk through. Well, that gate out in the field, it's not even a door, is it? But that's the
style.
Yeah, the gate. Well, sometimes it's a gate, But yeah, like you said, it's more for us. If I'm being honest, that's where the whys come from behind it.
For sure. Now you got, obviously, for the listeners, you got a big announcement, a big challenge this summer.
Yeah.
The 3 national peaks.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that? Raising money for Andy's Man Club as well. Shout out Andy's Man Club.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. They're awesome.
You care to talk a bit about that? The plan.
So I've done the 3 peaks. Not at once. So I know I've done them all in separate occasions, and it's gonna be hard. And it's gonna be, I think after it's gonna be hard. And I just think there's gonna be a point where physicality has got nothing to do with it. You're gonna have to tap in to that, to the pain cave, and that I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
he says now.
but that's the importance of hiking, and I think that's why it coincides quite well with the men's mental health side of things. It's because you just have to lock in and and it's part of that we start together, we finish together kind of thing, and it's mad. You'll see. And when you're out there, like I say, physically, every single person that's done a 10-mile hike with us already can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's that mental team spirit, and yeah, I'm excited. And I don't know what's going to occur. 15 to 20 people up 3 of the largest mountains in the UK. I mean, it's not going to be easy for us. Never mind.
When we get down from Ben Nevis and someone's got to drive 4 hours, we'll see. We'll see how much positive chats are happening then.
Yeah, it'll be good. And you're raising money for Andy's Man Club as well,
really,
which is very
really
important. You've touched a bit upon it. You're not, about what men's mental health means to you.
Yeah,
and having a charity like Andy's Man Club to raise money for, like, that will give you that extra catalyst.
Yeah.
You're doing it for a bigger cause.
Motivation, definitely, and they're amazing. It's something I've known about for a while, and it's needed. It's not. And these man clubs, they've got a lot of talking groups, and they've probably saved a lot of lives over the years in the UK, but don't get as much credit as what I feel that they probably should do. So I just thought, well, we'll deal with the physical side while raising, the grassroots of getting people talking about their issues and getting them getting them involved in maybe some future free peaks or whatever we've got planned over the next few years, you know.
That's really good. That's really good. And where can people find that information?
So at the moment we've got a Facebook page, Instagram. That's basically at the moment. We have a WhatsApp group, so if anyone finds us through Instagram or have got any friends that they want to recommend, it's an open ad. So we have quite a big community now on the WhatsApp group, so we always do little hikes. It's not just a 3 Peaks challenge in June.
Yeah, there's hikes in between.
You're joining us, and
Yeah.
you're also behind the camera hiding away there. You need to join us. You've not been on one yet. That's it. No, listen, we'll rock up and start beeping out your door next weekend. Don't worry, but we are doing one on the 19th as well.
Yeah,
which is a more local one that open amount of spaces.
Yeah, and do you have any, like, you know, you've been doing hiking for a few years, you know, and we all live in the Manchester area. What sort of, like, say for example, someone's new to hiking and they find it a bit daunting. What sort of hikes would you recommend? Is there any particular routes? Is there any particular, like, sort of strategies?
We don't do hard hikes. They're not everyone can do them. Everyone can do them. And if you can't, we will adapt. We will say if it gets to a bit on the hill or the mountain or the walk where you're struggling or whatever, then we will change our plan. We start together and finish together. It's not we're not caught up in. We're not like, oh, right, we're gonna get to the summit by this point. No, mate, it's not that. We're there to chill together and get outside. And if that means us walking down a country lane and seeing trees and nature, then we'll do that. It's don't you shouldn't feel
and
scared by it.
And a hike isn't just doing a mountain. Like, a hike could just be a walk out in the fell walk, you know, like a lot of people say, I haven't got a right gear, they haven't got this, they haven't got that, but like, really just get out there and then you'll soon realise what you'll need and what you don't need. But there's a route out there for everyone. So the one that we did recently, there was a couple of people on their first ever hike and it was a big one. The weather changed and I made the executive decision just to cut it off, but they had no clue. They had no clue they cut it off and they felt really achieved. But there is a hike for every single person out there.
And that's the beauty of getting outside. You probably will get wet and you will probably sweat and you'll probably do a workout that's hard. And I guarantee you after it, you'll be like, oh, that was good. And I'll do it again.
Because I think it's like, you know, getting outside your comfort zone, there's a skill to that. There's a skill to going, I'm a novice at this, and opening up and saying, let me try this for the first time. And I think when you are hiking, it is intimidating. You know, when you go on hikes and you see people and they've got all the gear, they've got the face mask, they've got the boots on, it is intimidating. So for you to say, sort of go, you know what, it's accessible to all, that's really beneficial.
And look, and don't get me wrong, there's some challenging, there is some mountain hikes that you will not be able to do without some boots. Don't get twisted. But we will guide that. And look, you don't need the best branded stuff. Like, people were asking me, I need to drop £200 on some hiking boots. I said, no, not at all. When I first started, I went to a charity shop. I went to Decathlon. I got a £10 pair of boots, you know. You know, you managed to do our walk in a pair of trainers, you know. Until we crossed the river, and then it was a bit like, okay. But
listen, you can do any walking trainers, mate. I've been up big mountains with guys wearing 110s. You can do it, mate. They'll get wet and your feet will be wet and you might messy trainers a bit. But listen, you can do it in anything, mate.
Yeah, it's just a mentality. That's all it is, man.
That is. Now, with the big hike, what date is that?
So it's so technically it's the 13th of June is the start time, but because we're going to start from Ben Nevis, which is the highest, if anybody don't know, the highest mountain in the UK and Scotland. So we're going to base up there the night before. So we're going to drive up on the 12th, start as soon as sunrise happens on the 13th. We're aiming for 24 hours, but like Tommy was saying before, like, look, mate, I'm not going to risk people's lives and start speeding down the motorway if we're a bit behind. It's about getting it done together as a group of people.
We'll just lie anyway.
We'll just lie. Yeah, you won't know. Like, GPT is an amazing thing, and it can botch that clock if needed. But it's just all about getting it done. So, and then we'll aim to obviously finish it within 24 hours from starting point. Some of us will stay down in Wales, do a little camp just to relax on the Sunday, but then some of us will come back up. But yeah, it's exactly 2 months tomorrow.
Yeah.
Actually. So yeah,
from the time we're recording,
it's creeping up.
Yeah,
creeping up.
And you like you said, you've got experience. How do you feel about it?
I'm good, man. Like,
He's a PT.
yeah,
I've been in Birmingham for 3 months.
Listen, do you know what? I'm just what it is yeah, I'm just excited to hit a challenge with some of my closest people and some strangers as well, you know.
Yeah.
And like start something in such a big group that is a challenge. Like I'm a PT, you're an outdoorsman. We used to call him Bear Grylls, so right. that gives you an example of his kind
Stretford
of
Bear Grylls.
yeah.
Stretford and Bear Grylls.
Stretford Grills, Stretford Grills. But like it's going to be a challenge for everyone. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's one of them challenges that's going to be mental. So I'm excited now that we've kind of planned the logistics, which is the hardest thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're both just kind of eager to just get it gone. So that's why if you are going to be joining in on some of the walks, they are going to be a little bit tougher, just to kind of build up that training.
For sure. We'll put all the links in the description so people can get in touch as well. One thing I will say as well, just before we do wrap up, is, you know, you've been doing this for 2 years now, and you've mentioned about, you know, you've got the challenge in the summer. Where do you see yourself in 3 years? Say it's a 5-year anniversary of Men Outdoors Manchester, you know.
We'd like to start doing weekends where it's a full weekend and we can go into Europe, we can go all sorts of places, which obviously is not too crazy. But I would love to do full weekends where we go and we, you know, set up our tents. We can do wild camping. I've done loads of great adventures and I would love to go with a big group of lads and do it where we spend a few days out in the wild, cooking and drinking fresh water from the rivers. For me, that would be a win.
Yeah, so like the getaways in Europe, I think the long-term mission is like, even though we've been going 2 years, last year was a bit of a dead year. I was a bit busy, he was a bit busy. Yeah. We didn't really do too much last year, but this year we've already tripled the last 2 years' activity. Mm-hmm. Ideally, I'd like to make this a charity. And because I do think it is important, not just for Manchester as well. I just think like globally, I think men do need to kind of deal with their mental health a little bit differently. I don't think the system is set up to offer that kind of style to men, particularly. You know, like, and I think this could actually help a lot of people out there. So in 3 or 4 years, I'd love for this to be a full charity. And we help not just Manchester, but, you know, a lot of other parts of the UK as well at that point.
100%, and I think using hiking as a catalyst to open doors for people to talk about the mental health, especially men, is so beneficial, really beneficial. But before we do finish, where can people find yourselves?
Yeah, so Instagram, Men Outdoors Manchester or Men Outdoors MCR is the best bet. Facebook as well. If anybody wants to kind of send a DM and they prefer using WhatsApp or anything like that, we can also give you the WhatsApp number for the group. And that's it for now. But things might change soon. Keep posting.
For sure. Well, honestly, having been on your hikes before, it's just a pleasure to have you here.
No, thank
and
you.
You're making a difference to the community, especially in the Greater Manchester area. So thanks for coming on. Tommy, and thanks for coming on, Connor, as well.
Appreciate
Thank you very
that,
much.
JD. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
That's another episode of You Good Bro podcast. We'll see you next week. Jam behind the camera as well. But as I always do, peace.